ahead of us. Both teams lined up and ready to go. The crowd full here at Kagan Stadium, and off we go. Cardinals start with the first possession, and already an aggressive start, sending it down the field. Boston College is winning the one-on-one battle. And Borak just working with it right now. Decides to be patient. That's the big thing for Boston College, is seeing if they can really settle into possessions, not try to rush anything, and produce the offensive possessions that they like to get good shots on goal. Already a battle for it. Close to midfield, and a call against the Cardinal, and that is the aggressiveness that kind of comes with the Cardinal style of play, as that one was called on Bank. Now sending it all the way down. Sent away by Taconi Grandias.
Offside.
And an offside on the Eagles. Worth mentioning as well, despite lining up in the back end, Taconi Grandia is one of the team leaders in goal, especially in the later half of this season. It's really made a big impact for this Cardinal offense. Already the offense trying to apply some pressure and a soft toss. It'll go to Borak.
That was a great pass by Schnebly. Borak's 6'5" Serbian. He's been really good this year for BC. He had a couple of shutouts with 6 saves in him.
Sarah's the one who sent it back, in Boston College now, working from their half of the midline. Burkhart is the one who sent it forward, and it goes right back to Burkhart. And right now, Stanford just continuing to be everywhere on the field, and that's a big collision there. You have to see, hopefully, Taconi Grandias is okay.
And Hank and Chostheim, that was, I mean, it's a little early. It's just the 3rd minute. But I think another challenge like that, he'll get a yellow card.
And that's a big risk for one of the leading scorers for this Eagle team at 5 goals on the year.
Kevin Maurer is the referee. Kind of had a couple of words for him.
So a warning already for Hank and Chostheim. Cleary's the one who sends it over up high and grabbed up top. Borak using his height advantage, but looks to be a little shaken up with that one as well, and that's not a good sign for the Eagles. As you mentioned, we're early into the 3rd minute here.
And Borak, 6 saves at Virginia Tech. That was the 1 win in ACC play for Boston College. He had a shutout and was excellent in that match.
And does it look like a substitution is happening here?
I think something was on the field, and Maurer gave it to the 4th official, who's now giving it to one of the BC assistants.
As it appears they're passing something along there on the sidelines. Good news for the Eagles is Borak is okay and ready to go. 42-minute mark. Here comes Boston College. Burkhart sending it up ahead, trying to see if they can run it down, and Eklund boxed out. Will Cleary's the one who's able to box him out, and now we move forward. Bohane starting to engineer the offense, and that one goes out. And a throw-in for Bohane. As you can hear the cheer from the Cardinal fans here. Cleary is going to send it back wide open space. Over there's Groneveld. Taconi Grandia sending it down. Trevor Islam with it. Tied for team leader in scoring with 4 goals this year. Didn't start the season as it started, but is now taken over at the starting position. Now this shot on goal is high. A rare one from Bank. That would have been his first of the year. That one going high and over the net.
Not a bad idea.
That's Palmer Bank, who is on the defensive side, not to get confused with Fletcher Bank, who works as an offensive weapon. And down the field it goes. A lot of play now on the Eagles side. And this is the first time a little foot race here, and first time that Schnebley is going to have to touch this one. As he sends it all the way down. Strong job there by Trevor Islam.
Nice turn.
Sending it over to the left side. Alex Chow. It's still a battle for it. And a great save. Good effort there by Borak. But here we go. The Cardinal back on it quick. 40-minute mark. Stanford with 2 shots to this point, making a third. Borak having to send that one back. On the rebound is Chow. And this one a pass. Bohane too high. So a couple opportunities here for the Cardinal. Unable to capitalize, but already applying the pressure early.
Had 3 chances there. Stanford thought Gundelach, when he was sliding to try to help out Borak, the goalkeeper, they thought the ball hit his hand and hit his arm. And I thought it hit his arm too, but I think the question was in what position did it hit it. And Borak did well with that knuckled shot. And then I think Bohane's going to want that one back. I mean, he was right there. He's 6-7 yards out. And I think when they watch that film back, he's going to think, yeah, maybe he should have put that one on target.
Bohane just a little too quick with that one. A little out of control. Trying to get the pass to Islam. It's just sent back and gathered by Acer. Boston College working back in their own territory. Now moving up Eklund. Acer. That's out. And it is the Eagles' possession.
Yeah, it's a free kick. AR over there. Kind of when the AR waves his flag up, it means free kick. And normally the referee will make that, but if there's a play kind of right on the line that the referee doesn't have a great view on, a lot of times the AR assistant referee, Jimmy Padilla, Francisco Franco in this match, they'll kind of help out. It's right in front of Jeremy Gunn.
So here's a free kick for Boston College. Eklund, one of the players lining up over it. Looks like Burkhart as well. So this is a big opportunity here. First chance for the Eagles to really get an opportunity. Burkhart's going to be the one to send it off. It bounces up in the air, stays in play, and then sent away. Palmer Bank there on the defensive side to send it out. But the Eagles are able to reset and now gather outside of the 18. Farewell. Working back up top. C.J. Williams. And now moving over to the far side are the Eagles, but the Stanford Cardinal really pushing the line of battle back. Cordy Grandiaz is the closest one there to it, and he's going to be the one to head it up. Second time. He gets a little bit more air under that one, and now that race for it. As Trevor Islam trying to get to it. Bohane trying to get to it. Bohane's the last one to touch it as well, so a throw in here for Boston College. 4 shots for the Cardinal, none yet for the Eagles. And there's also a save on the board for Borak. Throw in. Down it goes. Groneveld. Working over to the far side to Bank. And now moving up ahead to Chow. Chow cutting it over the middle. And there's Pym. Jack Pym. 3 goals on the year. Freshman holding on to it, now setting it up ahead. Back to Chow it goes. Chow now, good maneuver inside, but only Eagles to be found. You have to reset back outside with Bank. Now that one's sent from deep. And just like that, fantastic passing, trying to finish it off there was Trevor Islam. Just not enough strength on that one. Borak there to save that one.
So impressive. Pym and Partal, they're 2 freshmen, and they're playing center midfield in this 4-4-2. It is really difficult to play center midfield. great calm on the ball.
5 shots now for the Cardinal.
That last combination, Pim kind of started it under pressure, was extremely calm. And these two freshmen are really exciting.
Here it is again, one of the freshmen that you just mentioned, Pim. Great maneuver, keeping the possession alive, and chooses to play a little bit conservative there and just reset the offense. Working behind midfield, and Pim now with a little bit more room to work, sending it over to Bank. Cut across and sent away. Great defense by Gundalach. And a whistle blows. And Stanford picks up the foul.
Yeah, the Bank went a little bit too much in the back of the BC defender, but you kind of mentioned it, Alejandro. The balance of the field so far has been much more on BC's side. I would say probably, 75-25 in terms of BC's side and Stanford's side, and that's in some ways that's how Stanford wants to play, but BC, I'm sure they're trying to quick counter and quick move the ball out of the back and use some combinations to get some space.
And Boston College has yet to find any real opportunities yet to this point. No shots on goal yet for Boston College. And that also gives Stanford's defense a chance to really rest as well. They are given an opportunity to really just kind of play back and set up their offense instead of having to have their backs against the wall. Meanwhile, for Boston College now, another possession where they're having to stay close to their net.
Yeah, last possession, BC, they wanted to work it quickly, and Hensley, the right back, you kind of got to almost not take too many touches if you're BC and you're trying to counter against Stanford, because this back line is rock solid.
Cody Grandias getting it over to Groneveld. And setting up ahead, Bohane. Bohane with a quick pass, trying to get it to Islam, and Islam is boxed out. And then just a perfect setup as Borak is there to get it. Borak was quick and aggressive here on the defensive side. He's already been put under pressure a couple times, but doing great so far. And that goes up high. And Stanford, first one to make contact. Chow. As that one is knocked away by Asair. And it looks like there's an eagle down on the field.
Yeah, it's like Farwell. And he's kind of struggled a bit in his BC career with injuries. He's missed 2 of the last 3 years. He was all ACC as a freshman back in 2021, but he missed 2022 due to injury. He made just 9 appearances as a junior. As a senior, did not appear, so it's his 5th year at BC. He's just kind of had to fight through injuries.
Farwell still looking for his first goal of the year. Played in 7 games so far this year, 2 shots total. Just trying to get back to his dominant ways in his freshman year.
He had 3 assists as a freshman. He was all ACC freshman. And he started all the ACC matches this year. You kind of think BC and their head coach, Bob Thompson, trying to save him for the best matches because of just the injury history.
Taconi Grandia is setting it down. Trevor Islam trying to run it down and cannot. Too strong. And that's the one thing about this Cardinal offense. They're so aggressive. They send a lot of deep shots. Sometimes they don't always connect. And that is proof of it right there.
Yeah, the field here is super, the grass, I should say, is super, super low. I mean, it's almost like walking across a carpet. And it has rained a bit. So those long passes are going to be a little bit hard to connect on if they hit the grass because they're going to skip. It's kind of an odd day in the Bay Area. It's not cold, but it's been drizzling on and off all day.
It's almost like humid weather that you would see in Florida, almost. Trevor Islam loses it quickly. Eagles now working with it. Back and forth it goes, and BC is able to get it out of their range, but Stanford just continuing to be everywhere on the field. And Joshua Partal got pushed in the back.
Yeah, Eklund, one of the captains, kind of got him in the back. That last sequence is exactly what Stanford's trying to do. Islam had a chance to control and give Stanford a really dangerous chance off of the kind of mispass from Barak. Stanford wants to ask questions. They want to force their opponents into uncomfortable passes.
They're putting him in an uncomfortable position here. Is Islam close to it and just having to clear it out.
Did not want to clear it in the middle like Williams just did.
And Williams' aggressive attempt at a clear out is now being put in the same position again, getting trapped in the corner. Williams now having to send it away and gets it through. Fitting it through the seam. Hackenschostum, first time we've really called his name in this match. Here on the offensive side, again, the leading scorer for the Eagles this year. Here comes the Eagles with a great opportunity. Bounce back, pinballs around. No call is made on the field. And just like that, open room on the other side for Bank. Bank with nothing but room ahead of him. Bohane now setting it up. There's Pim. Pim dangerous from range. And the Stanford Cardinal slow things down. Cleary trying to get it through. No call made. And the Eagles take it back.
Henze went down in the box, and the whole entire BC bench immediately was asking for a penalty. It's hard to tell from our vantage point. The referee, Maurer, immediatly said, no, get up. It was not a foul.
There was definitely contact there, but again, whether it was clean or a little bit more physical, that's something that we can make from up here in the booth. There goes the Bank. Trying to get it to Partal, but stolen away. And we've seen a lot of aggressiveness so far from Acer. He's done a great job, and that effort pays off. Michael Acer, 2 points on the year, 1 goal, 7 shots, and 5 shots on goal this season. The forward for the Eagles has had to be a lot more aggressive on the defensive side. Stanford has won the clear time of possession to this point so far. 5-1 in total shot count. 2 saves for the Eagles. And an even score at 0 apiece as we're just under the 30-minute mark. Williams loses it. Continues to bounce around. Great effort here by the Cardinals. Trevor Islam is given an opportunity and it's sent away. Great defense by Gundalach. Bohane getting ready for the throw-in. Gets it to Islam, back to Bohane. And just sending it back to Taconi Grandias. Stanford taking their time. And have only had 5 shots to this point. Grandias up ahead and sent back to Pim. Now Pim working from the middle. Trying to see what he could find. He sends it over to the far side. Groneveld is the one who sent it over there. And now Boston College taking possession right back. Now trying to see if they can work quick on their own pace. But just like that, that one's sent away. And an interesting play there. It looks like slipping was to Crony Grandias, but still able to get the header and just send a soft pass over to Schnebley. You gotta wonder if he almost did that on purpose or not. Fletcher Bank now with it. Oh, that pass across couldn't be gathered. Alex Chow is the one who couldn't get a clean shot off. And now moving on the other side, Acer. And the Eagles really starting to slow things down. CJ Williams sending it over. Burkhart, that one is tipped and sent down to Coney Grandias. Is going to flip the field on that one. And sending it back to Williams. Bohane wins the one-on-one battle. And it goes back to Bohane as a reward. Islam was the one who sent it back to Bohane. And now the Stanford Cardinal working from their spot. Will Cleary sending it back. Grandias. And it's moving over. Jack Pim working from that middle spot. And we've seen Stanford work from Boston College side a lot. That one a miscue on the pass. rare mistake from this Cardinal offense to this point.
That's like a 5-3-2 BC's kind of playing in defensive shape.
As you mentioned, Boston College really wanting to absorb the aggressiveness that the Cardinal play with that formation. That one, though, physical, both sides, and I believe a call is going to be made because it was last touched by the Eagles. But that last push there looked like by Bank is going to draw the call. Five shots for the Cardinal, one for Boston College, 2 saves for the Eagles. Approaching 26 minutes left to go in the first half, tied at 0. Again, this is a Stanford Cardinal team offensively who really takes a while to get going and get a lot of late scores for this team, especially in clutch situations. And Boston College wants to try to take advantage of that, see if they can get up early on this Cardinal team. So far, they're looking for more than just one shot. Cardinal continue to apply pressure. Islam was there trying to cut off the pass. And it goes to Williams. Williams setting it across to the other side. And Gundelock has room to go. And now Gundelock going to do a deep shot down and headed by. But that's with no one else there for the Eagles. Just goes straight to Schnebley. Hankin Choston was the one who tried to do something with it. Again, that's a player that the Eagles really want to see get going on the offensive side if they can give Choston some opportunities. Henze. Hankin Choston was the closest one there, but it's sent away by Groneveld. Really a great job by this Stanford defensive lineup so far to this point. No clean shots allowed to the Eagles. As moving up ahead is Fletcher Bank trying to send it over and headed by. That was Bohane right there, but Bohane couldn't capitalize on that one. And Cardinal reset. Groneveld again setting it up. Bohane almost had the shot opportunity there to Corny Grandias, now sending it over to the right. And to the near side to Will Cleary. That pass, awry. Williams, the only one there. And here's the battle one-on-one to Corny Grandias using his strength. He wins it. And now in the box out, Trevor Islam is able to do a great job of holding possession. Chow! Couldn't find it. Too strong off to the left.
Yeah, Borak kind of saw that one and knew he was going to go wide. He kind of, remember earlier, he kind of got hit in the back, and the goalkeeper was kind of holding his back after he dove down. So that's something to watch for, because that might be BC's best player. And in order for BC to win or get a result, at least tie this match, they need Andre Borak to be a monster in goal.
He's doing so right now. 3 saves for Borak, and it's keeping this game tied. Just slowly chipping down the field are the Eagles. Acer sending it back.
This possession's big too, just to give them a little bit of chance to rest their legs.
And that defense has had a lot of pressure applied to them, especially Williams on the back end. We've heard his name a lot so far. It's a big opportunity for Boston College to see if they can do something and cannot. Mafong tried to get it by, but great defense from the Cardinal. Set up Bohane. And Mafong picks up the foul there. Bohane now sending it back to Corny Grandias. Over to the other side. Groneveld, Cardinal working from the far side, sending it up. Chow, you could say, has had the best shot opportunity to this point for the Cardinal. Cardinal with 6 shots, 3 shots on goal. Bohane is going to softly gather that one off of the long pass inside. Now this crosser, won by the Eagles, sent across by Will Cleary. But the Cardinal in just great position, too. They're there for the rebounds. Every ball that bounces back as Cleary sends that one over the middle. Islam trying to get it. On the follow is Bartal, but can't get the finish. But as I was mentioning, the Cardinal just seem to be in the right positions. Every time a ball bounces back, there's someone there on the rebound.
Yeah, second balls, Stanford. It's kind of the specialty since Jeremy Gunn took over 14 seasons ago, is Stanford on those second balls is going to win them more often than not. This is not what BC wants. Brack just basically handed the ball back over to Stanford, and again, BC's under pressure. I mean, there's 21 minutes left in the first half, and BC is absorbing a lot of pressure, and you wonder how long they can do it.
How long will it take before the Eagles break? Or can they start to send some of that pressure back the other way? Right now, they're just giving the Cardinal opportunities to really set up their offense and just chip away back down the field. Getting a little involved on the offense is Schnebley as he sends it over to Groneveld. And a big mistake there for the Cardinal. First time we've really seen a miscue like that from Palmer Bank. And here it is. This is a chance now. As you mentioned, the Eagles have really absorbed a lot of the pressure from the Cardinal. It's worked so far, but now are they able to reflect it back? And right now, that possession immediately lost for the Eagles. And just like that, here come the Cardinal. Setting up on the offensive side. Fletcher Bank trying to win the header, could not. And it's a battle for it. And Bohan's just going to send it out. And a couple substitutions here for the Stanford Cardinal. So it looks like getting a break is Cho, as well as Fletcher Bank. And Shane DeFlores, one of the players subbing in here for the Stanford Cardinal. So some fresh legs here now for the back half of half number one. And just having to be sent out and actually curving just right in. Perfect pass. Great job on the defensive side from Finn Henze.
Jude Stone also on for Stanford. DeFlores is 20 goals at Stanford. What an ace off of the bench for Jeremy Gunn.
DeFlores has been a little bit more quiet this year, just one goal in 2025, but 3 assists as well, so still making just such a huge impact for this team. As you mentioned, what a force to have come off of the bench and into the late moments, and another miscue there for the Eagles trying to get to it. Dylan Mafong.
Amongst active players, Shane DeFlores in Division I's 11th in points. And that's coming off the bench, and he has been, over the years, a really skilled all-around player. And he's up top there with Islam. And I think it's one of the things that Stanford likes about DeFlores coming off the bench is, especially at the end of these halves, the other team might have some tired legs, and DeFlores is fresh.
DeFlores has gotten action in almost every game this year for the Cardinal. That one bouncing up and out. Jack Pym unable to gather that one.
A little heavy first touch. Stanford's attacked mostly up the left.
They're really liking the far side of the field. As the official slows things down for a split second.
Yeah, I think he's telling BC, you got to hurry up because they're trying to basically kill every single second they can. Wasn't a math major, I think 63 minutes left in this match, and BC already is in, all right, let's milk the clock mode. And Kevin Maurer, part of the job of the referee is to keep the match moving, especially in college. There is no injury time.
So as you could tell, Boston College really with a mindset more to survive at the moment. As you can see, even with that miscue on the pass, no Eagles were there to really apply any pressure. They just took an opportunity to rest. Bohane has it now. But you give so many opportunities, it's where it gets dangerous for this Cardinal team, as up over the middle and could not get the header. As we mentioned, DeFlores, dangerous. But just jumping a little too high, wasn't able really to time that one.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. I think DeFlores hit that maybe with his backside, and it almost rolled in. And again, you see Borak, he kept the ball on the ground, picked it up the last possible moment. BC is content to try to kill off the half.
Jude Stone. And just subs in. And then Shane DeFlores also there to apply some pressure. This one now being sent over to the right and perfectly in place. It's Tacony Grandias. And that long ball goes out. Throw in for the Eagles. Kind of being pinned, though, into the near side corner is Jack Burkhart. Tough situation for the Eagles to be in. 8-1, the total shot count and differential as the Cardinal have 8 to the Eagles 1. And now moving up ahead is DeFlores. Pass up is sent away. Jack Pym with a fantastic turnaround. Quick to apply the pressure. Bohane now on the crosser. Almost getting an acrobatic one is Shane DeFlores. And the Cardinals still fighting for it. Sent away. Borak. And that shot by Trevor Islam sets up a corner kick.
Yeah,
Borak just having a really dive for that one too. Put up in the top right corner, top left, my apologies.
Yeah, if Boston College wants a result, they're going to need a bunch of plays like that from Borak, who has been fantastic so far.
Here's Jude Stone, approaching the 15-minute mark, left to go in half number 1. In a tie game, Cardinal looking for their first breakthrough. Stone sending it flat there, and just the Cardinal great though on the rebound as DeFlores sending it up, and Borak is there again. If there was an MVP for the first half, I don't see it going to anyone else but Andre Borak. 15 minutes left to go in half number 1, and Boston College still only 1 shot put up to this point. No call made on the field is down as well is Acer. And now a lot of physicality happening both ways. And still down is Michael Acer.
I'm wondering if, I think that was a non-contact injury. The ref kind of gave the no signal to Stone, had the ball play up and it hit off of his hand and went down. And that's what BC was calling for. Now BC's going to make 4 subs here.
First time Boston College has now made some substitutions, so they're bringing in some fresh legs here for the final 15 minutes.
Number 17, Russell Brown. And number 19, Connor Gibson.
So Connor Gibson, Nikolai Royale, my apologies, are 2 of the notable subs coming in here for this Eagles team. And now, let's see, with some fresh legs here towards the end of the half, can Boston College start to flip the field here a little bit, get some play on the Cardinal half, as Jack Burkhart is going to be the one to send the free kick down. Burkhart gets a nice curve on that one, but just a little too flat. Tacony Grandias is the first one there. And it goes right back to Burkhart, but now sending it back on the header there. Gundelach, a lot of pressure and just having to send it all the way back. Borak, ooh, right there with Shane DeFlores, close to it. Fletcher Bank, moving up ahead. Bank trying to keep control of it and sending it across. And it's a return to sender. Now moving, Jude Stone up high and over the net. That was off of the header of Trevor Islam. And this will set up a corner kick. Second one for Jude Stone. Second one for the Cardinal as a team. And the last one from Jude Stone came in a little flat. Sent back immediately. I have to imagine he's going to try to go with this one, which is a little bit more of an angle and trajectory with this one, as Stone setting it up, and that's flat again. Bohane is there off of the rebound, but it bounces away. It just sets up a goal kick.
And one thing, Borek's shot stopping is excellent, but the ball at his feet, he's not as comfortable. And I think Stanford has kind of scouted that, and they've tried to make him play quick passes. The referee's about to tell him to hurry up right here, too.
You could see it again. Boston College Eagles really trying to drain that clock now at the 13-minute mark here in half number 1. Up ahead, Stanford continuing to apply pressure. They just have yet to get a real breakthrough to this moment. And it starts right there with Pim. Knocked down, aggressive play. That was one of the subs for this Eagles team, Nikolai Royale, who just subbed in. And a really powerful hit.
Yeah.
And following that one, of course, is a call.
And Kevin Bauer just told him, no more. No more of that. That was a welcome to the match. Royale, who started at UCLA, went to Wofford for a couple of years, now is up in the Heights at BC.
New to the scene, Jack Pim, the freshman, setting it up high and just straight to Borak.
Yeah, he's really strong in the air.
But it goes right back to Pim, and it's just a little back and forth action between the two as he sets it up ahead and no one really there. So Pim just kind of throws that one away. Stanford Cardinal tied with the Boston College Eagles. Approaching the 12-minute mark, left to go in half number 1. Stanford leading the shot count 9-1. Stanford with 5 of those shots being on goal. The Eagles, to this point, 1 shot, none on goal. So no action to this point for Rowan Schnebley, as he's really just been able to relax there on the back end. This call is going to go against the Cardinal, and they are leading in the foul department 6-4 now. I'm going to go against Trevor Islam. And still down, it looks like, on the field is Michael. My apologies, that is not Michael Sarah. That is. So trying to see if we could get a number here. But good sign, able to get off on his own strength.
It's Gundelach.
And that is Gundelach.
Junior from Germany. A lot of European players for BC. A lot of Scandinavian players.
Immediately sent back Bohane. There on the pressure of that pass attempt from Jack Burkhart.
Yeah, Burkhart, he's from Massachusetts. Played with New England Revolution Academy. A lot of the Stanford players came up through MLS academies.
It's paid off as Stanford really dominant this year, but right now in a battle with the Eagles, and right here is a good opportunity. First chance for the Eagles, sent away by Tacony Grandias. And again, the defense of the Cardinal doing a great job, giving Rowan Schnebley really some room here.
Yeah, excellent defense. And Grandias, the back post, Brown was there, and that would have been an easy header and a goal. And Grandias wasn't there in time.
Will Cleary is going to be the one to throw it in as we approach the 10-minute mark here in half number 1. Up high and out. That was sent out by Mafong. Throw in again from Will Cleary. 10-minute mark, Cleary setting it over, and back to Cleary it goes, and now sending it over to the far side with Dylan Groneveld, and a lot of room for Palmer Bank. It closes quickly, though. And here comes Boston College again, forcing the turnover, now switching the field. And moving ahead is Russell Brown. Russell Brown in a rough mismatch there with 2 defenders on him. And it's just sent away to Tacony Grandias, again, making a big impact on the defensive side.
Yeah, a great story. He has 4 goals this year. He first 3 years at Stanford, he only started 3 matches, and now he's become the first choice at center back for Stanford. And Alfonso has done a really nice job, waited his turn, and has been just incredible for the Cardinal this year.
Made one of the biggest impacts for the Cardinal team this year. It's headed around and sent back.
Tomo Allen's come in for Stanford. He had the game winner with 36 seconds left against Oregon State in the midweek on Wednesday.
Just one of the few game winners that this Stanford Cardinal team has had. This one now down the field. Opportunity for Brown. No call made. And the defense again from Tacony Grandias just really left that shot hanging. An easy pickup for Rowan Schnebley.
And Brown tried to hit it first time. That's a really hard kind of angle there too. Instead of maybe taking a touch, but Grandias is so good defensively, you don't really have a chance to take a first touch and try to set up.
Bohan, good header. Sending it all the way back and now up in the air. Approaching the 8-minute mark. Stanford still at 9 shots. They've been stuck there now for almost the last 10 minutes. So while they have won the time of possession, still no clear shots to this point. Now moving down the field, Jack Burkhart trying to send it across. And sent away. Call is made as Palmer Bank try to send that away, and that foul.
Yes. Stanford's a little frustrated because Bank made a really great pass up the left side, and the whole Stanford staff and bench and the players were saying, why didn't you play an advantage there?
Schnebley.
It was also really late from Abdul Malak.
Ziad Abdul Malak, 1 goal on the year. He's played in 9 games this season. He was the one who picked up the foul. Full race. Won by Will Cleary. Setting it up ahead to Shane DeFlores. Shane DeFlores now trying to apply the pressure on CJ Williams, and Williams does a great job of getting into safe territory, and that one knocks off of a Cardinal.
CJ Williams has been tested a lot of times in this match, and he has passed every single one of them.
Approaching the 6:30 mark. Jack Burkhart was the one who sent it on the throw-in. And Williams, again, as you mentioned, facing a lot of pressure so far in this match. Pim, one of the players who has applied a lot of that pressure on the defensive side. Williams wants it back. Williams really wants an opportunity here to reset it for the Eagles. And here comes Williams. He sees it over on the far side and now moving all the way across. Gundalak trying to move it up ahead, but always there is a Cardinal there to halt any momentum that the Eagles are gaining. Bohane back to Pim. Pim with a great move to hold on possession, and now Pim's working it with down the field, trying to get it to Shane DeFlores. Back to Pim it goes, and Pim sending it across for Race to it, trying to win and send it up high, and no Cardinal there to finish that one off. That was Fletcher Bank who was able to save it, give it an opportunity for the Cardinal. Fletcher Bank now with another pass, trying to get it to Shane DeFlores. And Borak is there. 5:30 left to go in half number 1, and that Eagle defense continuing to hold strong. Sent high up and across. Dylan Mafong was the one who was able to grab it, and it goes back to Mafong. And that one pulled down from Jack Pim. A little bit clearer now that that was closer to our side. As you can see, Pim's arm action.
I've liked Mafong at times. He's California native, Southern California from San Diego, but down on this near side, he's had moments where he's been quick and a little bit dangerous.
No surprises, Jack Burkhart, who's been doing it all game long. He's the one to send off the free kick under the 5-minute mark. Burkhart. That one's going up high, and it's going to put a little bit of pressure there as the catch is going to have to be made by Schnebley, as Schnebley couldn't catch that one cleanly. Dangerous, too, as he's really close to the line. Getting pushed back, and not a good sign as Pim is down on the field. And Jack Pim. And he's done a great job here in the first half. A lot of effort to this point from Pim. He's played the full minutes so far. Dylan Groneveld. Under 4:30 left. Groneveld. First time that the issue has really been forced against him. And this slide tackle and really aggressive play there from Russell Brown. And by the looks of it, that is a yellow card. First one of the match goes to Russell Brown. And that's the third yellow card of the season for Russell Brown. He's picked up 2 already to this point. And Brown was really aggressive, especially since he subbed in. Was the only one to get the big shot off for Boston College. And also on that defensive side, he's had a couple slide tackles and a couple warnings, but this time just gets a yellow card. Roman Schnebley, over 4 minutes, setting it down. It's worth mentioning the Cardinal have scored a couple times to end the half. So they are dangerous at any point. It's knocked down there, and this is going to be the cleanest opportunity that the Cardinal are going to have, as taken down was Tomo Allen. And it's a free kick just outside of the 18 on the far side. And it's going to set up for Jude Stone.
And Gundelock way late on that challenge.
A discussion here for the Cardinal, trying to see what they can do here for this possession. They're trying to see how Boston College is lining up formation-wise, is essentially just a closer corner kick for the Stanford Cardinal. Bohane also setting up as well. And it's just going to be Jude Stone. Stone setting it across, and too strong off to the right. Close to the area, too, was Borak, of course, to no surprise. Ready to knock that out if that was close on goal.
Yeah, they went with Stone, an in-swinger. Outswinger, they could have gone with Bohane, in-swinger. I love that. When you put that to the back post, a lot of good things can happen for the attacking team. You can have that one knock off the post and go in, be mishandled. Someone puts a head on it.
Headed up twice there. That was from Bank. Tecrony Grandiez has done a great job winning those 50-50 balls as he wins another one there. And again, Bank now sending it up high. And it continues just bounce around. Tomo Allen, his closest one there. Couldn't get to it, but now Tomo Allen trying to win the race there to the corner, and Allen wins it. Allen holding possession, going against Williams. He's taken down. No call on the field. The officials call it clean.
Yeah, I thought Williams got a bit of a cleat into him.
As we are now at the 2-minute mark. Going to open the season versus Sacramento State. Stanford got a goal within the final 30 seconds of half number 1. And they've done it again, too, in later parts of the first half throughout the whole entire season. Can they do it here in the final minute 30? And that one's not a clean slide tackle from Tomo Allen, and a yellow card for the Cardinal.
I think there was a little bit of frustration there from Allen because Williams just maybe 45 seconds, a minute earlier, really got him and got him late. And Allen, that time, it's definitely late, and that was definitely a yellow card.
Marcy was the one who was knocked down for the Eagles. The biggest thing that does is that halts the opportunity that the Cardinal had with a minute 34 left. As the Eagles are going to get a chance to just send it across and flip the field. And that's exactly what Borak is going to do. Here come the Cardinal. Bohane. Can't find any room, and that one's sent out. The Eagles working quick here. And what's the call going to be? That's going to be a little too aggressive from the Eagles. Nikolai Royel was the one on the defensive side, and Tecrony Grandiez knocked down that one. They're going to say knocked off of a Cardinal, it appears. So this sets up a goal kick. Now into the final minute left to go in half number 1, and The Eagles, despite losing the time possession battle and not getting many shots off, are going to go into the half, as it looks like to this point at least, even with the Cardinal. They've done a great job absorbing that Cardinal aggression so far to this point. As that one trickles out, and the Eagles going to hold possession here for the throw, and you can imagine they're just taking their sweet time. They're going to try to see if they can let this one go to the half before they really have to throw it in here. Final 10 seconds.
7, 6, 5,
Back and forth it goes, and the Cardinal won't get a clear shot. It's going to go out, and we are tied after one. End of the first half, 0-0 the score.
Their home white uniforms. They'll attack towards their bench in the second half.
And if there was ever a team that could do another three-peat, it would be this Stanford Cardinal team. Again, best recruiting class in the ACC, second in the nation, and a lot of freshmen who are really stepping up on the field early this season. And you can imagine they're only going to continue to develop from this point on.
Cleared away by C.J. Williams, who's been very active, physical, 6'2" center back from Valley Stream, New York, just outside of JFK on Long Island.
And that's the thing as well, you know, when you're putting a lot of pressure on your defensive side, C.J. Williams, you know, defenders like that are just having to play and run around so much. You hope they don't get tired at some point, and that the Cardinal don't take advantage of it, of course, too.
Islam. Bank. Bohane onto his left. And Borak makes an easy save on the near post.
Well, Borak picking up where he left off. Did a fantastic job in the first half. The main reason that this game is tied at 0 apiece is because of him.
Boston College sustaining possession has been the main challenge against the Cardinal. Nice turn. Chow, sophomore from Palo Alto. Good ball. Fletcher Bank onto his left. With time, Chow plays it in. Back post. Beaupain. And then it's cleared away. And Burkhart, the fullback, gives the Cardinal a corner.
Third quarter kick for the Cardinal. First one for Chow.
Alex Chow, part of the San Jose Earthquakes Academy, which has produced a lot of Stanford players. And looks like maybe a cramp, or that's Farwell, who I think just went down. He started all the ACC matches, a grad student who unfortunately is a grad student because he's had to miss 2 years of his 4 in Chestnut Hill.
And again, not a good sign for someone they really want to see come up in the big games for Boston College. And, you know, this is a Boston College team that was predicted to be last in the ACC. Right now, they currently sit at 10th. So, right now, currently surpassing expectations. And right now, the way that they're playing this Cardinal team, you know, a tie or a big upset for a win here can make a big difference in the rankings.
And they're going to have to sub Farwell. And it looks like Mafong. Mafong, who started the first half, is quickly onto the field 2 minutes into the second half. 0-0. 48th minute.
Curious to see how Chow attacks this corner kick, his first one of the night.
Swinger towards the far post. It's headed down, and it's cleared away. Off the line, Eklund, the Norwegian international senior, second team all-leaguer in the ACC, went to Duquesne. For a moment there, Cleary, the right back, looked like he might have had a chance at it.
That was the first one from Chow tonight. The other two have been by Jude Stone, and I really thought that was a fantastic corner kick. Had perfect height and curve on that one to really set up a great opportunity.
Partal, another in-swinger, into the front, and Bohane heads it over.
Two different corner kicks there. That one coming with a little bit more speed on that one and a flatter angle, and I like the idea as well, but couple headers now for the Cardinal have gone over the net. They really want to see if they can try to time those up.
Boston College, since this match started, they have been, I think, had one eye on the field and one eye on the clock. They've been trying to.
Oh, they're draining as much clock as they can. Every second there's a dead ball.
You can tip your hat to Bob Thompson, the head coach of BC. Boston College alumnus is in his 6th year. He was at BC back when they were in the Big East. He was all Big East during his playing days. Came over from UMass Lowell.
That's an interesting kind of strategy from Thompson here.
Bohane. Out wide. Chow. And not enough on that pass. Bank was trying to overlap as well, but again, Stanford will win the ball back. And Gorneveld, very nice and very calm on the ball as Stanford reorganizes.
And this goes to what I was saying about the strategy from Thompson. It seems more so like Boston College's strategy here is almost to just end in a tie. The way they're just clearing the ball out and resetting on the defensive side, and that's where they get their rest. They're not really trying to do anything on the offensive side as well. It seems like they're just playing conservative, and it's working so far.
Yeah, Boston College would be very happy with a draw here. 50th minute. 12-2 in terms of shots for Stanford. Brack's got to be careful. Yeah, Kevin Maurer, the referee, has told him a few times you got to hurry up, and he's probably pretty close to picking up a yellow card for time wasting. You don't normally see in the first half the goalkeeper is being told you got to hurry up, but that happened at least 3 times.
Oh, it happened right at the start. Boston College had a strategy, and they knew what they were doing right from the beginning.
Vinhenzi started every match since match number 2. He's a German. Long throw. Good touch, and cleared away by the Cardinal.
Can Boston College produce something here? This is the first time they've really had a chance to really be even on the offensive side.
Royale started the second half for BC, did not start the first. He had a couple of touches there and almost got a chance on his right foot. Colleen.
That's what I want to see from the Eagles. Can they get a possession here, just even get a shot on goal?
Henze, nice touch. Gibson, and he was dispossessed. Jeremy Gunn and his staff are now getting up off their bench and saying, let's bring up the intensity. At Boston College, it's only 5.5 minutes into the second half, but they have looked much more comfortable. And Stanford, they played with that high pressure. Sometimes has not looked as energetic. Verdias, a very nice job to clear that one away. Royale from Copenhagen, Denmark. He was the SoCon freshman of the year back in 2022 with Wofford. He did not start the match, but he's starting the second half.
I'll tell you what as well, bringing the energy is Tacony Grandias, working from that backside. He's been a big reason why Stanford has won possessions back and also no clean shots right now for the Eagles to this point.
Long throw, dangerous ball, and Stanford able to clear it away with Islam. Chow, and that's a hold, and that's a yellow card. Nothing there from Gundelach in terms of any other choice but to pick up a yellow. And that broke up a very dangerous potential counter for Stanford as Fletcher Bank was leaking out.
And just by Gundelach's reaction, you could tell that was fully intentional, obviously, and also he believes that was the right play, and I think so as well. You know, that stopped what was going to be a clear fast break for the Cardinal and would have been the first times that they really had a big-time advantage on the offensive side. So Gundelach, smart move there just to pick up the yellow card, and, you know, now all of a sudden Boston College's defense set up perfectly in position here. This is where the Cardinal get dangerous.
And a long, deep ball. Cleary puts in front, and it's shot wide. Oh, right at the spot. It was the center back, Tacony Grandias, who has 4 goals this year, and he almost got his 5th there.
And Grandias has really stepped up here in the second part of this season, and it's been in situations like that, corner kicks, setting up for free kicks, and Grandias has done a great job even as a center back to do that. And
here comes the yellow. Yeah, it was a matter of time. Borak, well, maybe not. Here comes the yellow. This is, I think, the final warning that the next time you do that, you're going to get a yellow card. They stopped the clock with 37:55 remaining. But the time wasting has been constant from Boston College, and I think that is the final warning for Borak.
I mean, as mentioned before, this is just something that they've been doing since the first half, and really I believe in that first part of the half they were just doing it more as like a way to test the waters and see how much they could really get away with.
Burkhart played it forward for BC. Royale's been very dangerous. Nice job stepping up by Palmer Bank. The Bank twins hailing from Bakersfield. Here's Chow hailing from Palo Alto. Technically, if you're at home, and you probably get this if you're a Boston College fan. Boston College is not in Boston. It's in Chestnut Hill. Stanford is not in Palo Alto. It's in Stanford, California. Partal, great ball. Bank! Palmer Bank breaks the tie. 1-0 Cardinal.
Well, sooner or later, when you just keep playing on the opponent's half of the field, you get to always test it out, see where the lanes are, you understand the defense better, and just what a pass from Partel to Bank. Perfect on the spot, and Bank did a great job as well adjusting his shot. As you could tell, it looked like Borak there was really adjusting for that one to go across. Bank just setting it low and to the left.
There was nothing Borak could do there. And you mentioned it, Partal with a fantastic pass. Joshua Partel gets his 6th assist of the year. He came into tonight with 5 assists, which is 3rd in the ACC. And it'll be very interesting here to see how Boston College, they're going to have to totally change their tactics.
Well, that was the first thing that came to my mind, actually, is now I wonder how Bob Thompson and this Eagles team is going to adjust. Because, again, they have been playing so conservative, so far back, almost like they were just playing for the tie. That's not a possibility anymore if you keep playing the way you are. So now, how do they adjust? Where's the aggression going to come from? Do they start to line up a little differently? And does that start to work to the benefit, or do we start to see Stanford now really start to get some more breakthroughs here on the offensive side? That's the biggest question.
Yeah, I think if you're BC, you kind of might have to keep the same strategy for 20, 25 minutes, because if they try to play open with Stanford for the remainder of this match, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, it's asking for a lot. It's asking a lot for your defense.
The reason why we have a pause here is, wait a second, they might say he was offside. Nope, goal. Well, Trevor Maurer, they did look at that, Kevin Maurer, I should say, and at least in professional soccer, when you give the signal of the TV, that means that you looked at VAR and you're going to overturn the call. He gave the signal and then pointed to the middle, which means goal. It was interesting. Watching it live, I didn't think Palmer Bank was a little bit close, but he was on, and it is 1-0 Stanford.
What a job from the Cardinal.
A goal with the run of play, 14-2 in terms of shots, and BC is going to have to open things up, and I think that's a good thing for Stanford. Bohane up, Fletcher Bank. Nice pass to Palmer. Chow. Stanford's got a little hop in their step. Ball's played in front, and it's swept away by BC over into the student section.
Well, you could tell that just brought the energy up for the Cardinal. Finally getting that goal. They finally broke through. It happened. Right? And now you could tell that's really giving them the energy here.
Long throw here from Palmer Bank into the cement mixer. Headed on off the post. It looked like...
I mean, that was Borak right there. Just a great job. He definitely got his hand on that one just a little bit.
Yeah, he just redirected. I think it was Grandias who got the head onto it. And the stand, whoa, that was a errant pass, and BC looking to counter. Royale fouled. by Fletcher Bank. A BC bench asking for a yellow as that was a foul, professional foul to break up the counter.
From Boston College right now, let's get on it right now. Let's see if we could try to bring the aggression back.
Mafong lost it. Williams lost it. Islam. Fletcher Bank. Fletcher Bank being held. Fletcher Bank on his left. And Burak again with the save, his 9th. Great positioning from Andre Burak.
Great positioning indeed. Bank did a great job pushing through the contact, getting a clear shot. Again, despite allowing that one goal, which was really just a fantastic pass and just an unfortunate situation, Burak has done a fantastic job.
Islam, the walk-on. Oh, the dummy, and Williams commits the foul. Play on. Islam in front. Chow puts it away. 2-0 Stanford. What an incredible individual effort from Trevor Islam, and Alex Chow with the easy part as he deposits it in for the 2nd goal of the night.
Oh, that was an easy cash in right there for Chow. But yeah, Trevor Islam, what a job to hold the possession there, continue to fight through the contact and the penalty, a perfect play-on situation. And that's just great positioning from Chow as well. I love the way that Chow was ready right there in position for the easy pass.
Yeah, I thought a card was going to come out from Kevin Maurer because that was a clear foul by C.J. Williams. But play on advantage, and Islam, who he joined Stanford as a walk-on in 2024. He played for Marin FC up in the North Bay. He wasn't even part of the A team. He was as a student on the club team here for a year for Stanford. He trialed with the Cardinal last year. He played just 21 minutes. Jeremy Gunn told me he's an excellent athlete. He had trained really, really well. He had practiced well, and he's forced his way into the starting lineup. And it's hard to be a walk-on and make it here at Stanford. He hasn't just made it, he's now become a major part of this team as he has started now the last 4 matches for Stanford, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Cardinal.
Well, you can tell the halftime adjustments have come into fruition here early for the Cardinal.
And Jeremy Gunn was telling me Trevor is an excellent athlete and that he had been so good in practice. And in May of 2024, they added him to the team. They'll kind of look at some players in the spring and the winter. And to not just make the team as a walk-on, but to become a first choice is pretty incredible. And that was a pretty incredible movement. Great job by Chow to clinically put that one away. 2-0 Stanford. It was
Extremely
scoreless
impressive.
at the half.
But we knew Stanford, they put up so many shots in that first half, so many opportunities. Like, if they just kept getting those, there's going to be a breakthrough. While I worked for Boston College in the first half, I would have liked to have seen an adjustment change in that second half, see if they catch the Cardinal off guard.
Cleary for Bohane, who has been very dangerous in this match. Nice ball. Partal. Stanford reorganizes. Groeneveld.
Moments like these. Sorry, my apologies. I cut you off there. But like moments like this where they're really slow to get on the ball, they have to apply pressure right now, especially being down 2-0.
The other thing about BC is you wonder how much they have left in the tank. It is 11:30 Eastern time. Now, these guys are 18 to 22 years old, so they can handle it a lot better than I can. But it is almost midnight Eastern time. BC will fly home tomorrow. Wow, Chow, what a first touch. Palmer Bank on the overlap. And that is just over. 32 minutes left in this match.
And at this point, too, you have to imagine Stanford just in full control. Boston College really needs to get a shot off here.
Good news for Stanford, too. They have just one East Coast trip remaining. It's next weekend at Wake Forest. They have Cowell on the road as well in the ACC left. Bohane, right foot on it, and that one just a little bit high on the top right 90.
Bohane has gotten a lot of shots in this one, too. I was expecting him to finally get a breakthrough. Just a couple too strong and over.
Yeah, that was his 5th shot of the match. And Bohane 10th in the country in shots, top 20 in terms of active players in Division I in terms of points. There's some really experienced players like Bohane, DeFlores on this Stanford team. Will Cleary, it's his 70th game. That's top 10 amongst active players. Stanford as a team, this is their 11th match. That's the most in the country.
And that's the thing, Bohane really changed his style of play here this season. Last year he was the team leader in scoring, but a lot more aggressive this year, kind of being on the main forefront of the offensive side for this Cardinal team.
Stanford, 24 goals coming into tonight. That is the 2nd most in the country. Now they're up to 26. But again, with the caveat of they have played the most matches in the country at 11. Kind of a front-loaded schedule. Oh, that's dangerous. And that's Colleen, who's going to be called, the Southern California native.
That was a dangerous one indeed. Colleen got no ball there, but almost got the face of the defender. That was scary.
He was all Big West for Fullerton State. 2nd year at BC. He had the game-winning goal last year. Boston College won against North Carolina, who was in the top 10. That was a huge win, one of the biggest wins in recent BC history. Stanford has dominated this match, 19-2 in terms of shots. 11-1 in terms of shots on target. BC Eagles midweek win against BU. They had to come back in that one. Stanford midweek win against Oregon State. Scored with 36 seconds left to win that match against their old Pac-12 rivals.
And Stanford has done a great job adjusting to the ACC conference. Again, not the result that they wanted last year in the ACC tournament, but with the recruiting class that they had this year and the adjustments that have been made, you really have to think that they can make a big run in that ACC tournament, not just in the ACC tournament, but in the NC2A tournament in general. Again, ranked 6th in the nation, and last year they were ranked number 1 in the nation at one point until things started to fall apart for them in the second half of the season. They're trying to prevent that from happening at this point.
And Stanford has been number 1 in the country each of the last 3 years at one point. Talking to Jeremy Gunn, one of the big things is RPI. Stanford right now is 15th in RPI, but he was telling me the ACC conference is number 1 in RPI, and he thinks the more ACC matches Stanford plays, the more they'll go up in RPI. Right now, BC 76th, which is kind of within striking distance of making a run in an at-large bid. Chow, so good with the ball at his feet, the left footer. Pim tried to hit it on the first time. Couldn't really get it done. Here's Abdul Malak, transfer from Lemoyne, from Manlius, New York, up in central New York, right outside of Syracuse, then went to Lemoyne, which is a Division I school in Syracuse. So he spent his whole high school, college career up in Syracuse, and is a grad transfer to BC. The Eagles have a few transfers. Stanford really doesn't have any.
Oh, Stanford is homegrown talent, as you could put it. And again, that always goes to what we mentioned, for the recruiting class this year. So many freshmen who are coming in already, getting a lot of playing time, making a huge impact. 4 of them have already gotten scores this year.
Will Clary took a while to get that ball in, so they'll stop the clock for the moment. Trevor Islam.
And that's the thing, too. You have players like Trevor Islam, who's a walk-on, making an impact like he is. Just a great job developing players as well from Coach Jeremy Gunn.
Chow. Nice touch. Palmer Bank. Off the pass from Fletcher Bank. Into the middle. Swept away for a moment by Colleen. Bank. Oh, what a pass. Or what a save, I should say, by Barak again. He came off of his line, and he's kind of taking a little inventory as that one was very close in. And he took that off the chest. Fletcher Bank almost made it 3-0. Long throw coming here from the far side for Stanford.
Yeah, my goodness, Borak, he's just having to put in so much effort just to keep this at 2-0. I mean, again, he's just had a fantastic game.
Cleary plays in the middle. Chow tried to play it in front, and again, BC is just playing emergency defense.
You can tell Chow wishes he just got under that one a little sooner, maybe got some air under it to send it back up.
Let's see if it's a long throw here from Palmer Bank. Played tennis, golf, football, and cross country in high school down in Bakersfield. Towards the back post, a lot of contact.
Ooh.
Grunewald was going for it, and again, BC just kick it out of bounds.
I'm actually really shocked a call was not made there. Obviously, the refs hold their whistle a little bit more when it gets inside the 18, but it looked like Grunewald just wasn't even able to get turned around there. He was really getting pulled back.
Grunewald, most yellow cards in the ACC. He has been very physical this year and just rock solid for Stanford. That center back position has been, over the years for Jeremy Gunn, a strength. Had some big names over the years. 2-0 Stanford, 25 minutes left in this match.
Oh. Trying to get an acrobatic move there was Joshua Partal.
Royale kind of pushes over the Stanford defender. Cardinals sweep it away. Islam, nice header. Fletcher Bank. Islam trying to run in behind. Islam, left foot on it from distance! A wonder goal! And the celebration to boot. Stanford is running riot, 3-0.
Wow. Wow. That might be goal of the year right there for Trevor Islam. Team leader now in scoring with 5 on the season. And again, just to go from a walk-off to what he is doing now, just an unbelievable impact on this team. He's doing it passing, he's doing it scoring. He's all over the field. And it's just so impressive to watch him work.
Just a great attack. It was really 2-on-4, Islam and Bank. And that was a left-footed missile. And Trevor Islam 2 years ago was playing club soccer for Stanford. He really worked hard. I mean, Jeremy Gunn said he went under the radar in terms of the recruiting trail. He, again, wasn't even with the A team in his club for a lot of the time when he was with Marin FC. And he worked hard. He's an excellent athlete. And, wow, that was an incredible strike, maybe 25 yards out.
I mean, isn't that just one of the underdog stories that you love to hear? You know, out of Mill Valley, California, just didn't get really looked at in his high school career, but, you know, kept working hard. You know, as you got to college, you know, you start to get that adult strength. You know, he continues to fine-tune his skills. A late bloomer, and now look at him.
Stanford wants more. Fletcher Bank. Bank on the attack. Oh, that was a really good idea to Bohane. 2 goals on opening day against Sac State, a goal against St. Mary's, a goal at Syracuse in what was a really big win for Stanford. He started the last 3 matches, started the tie at San Jose State, the wins over Virginia Tech and Oregon State here at Stanford. And his first goal as a starter, 5th goal of the season. As Alejandro mentioned, that is the team lead for Stanford. Stanford now 27 goals on the season. They came into the week at 2nd in the country in terms of total goals. Alex Chow has one of those goals. '53rd minute, Palmer Bank. Alex Chow in the 56th minute. Now, or 56th minute, and then 65th minute for Islam officially. Fletcher Bank getting the assists. Islam with a goal and assist in this match. 3-0 Stanford.
And, you know, when you look at the entire stat line, 3-0 is actually surprising. You know, Stanford 21 shots to Boston College's 2. When you look at that alone, that just shows complete domination. The fact it's only 3-0 is a real testament to, you know, how good Andre Borak has played there on the back end at the goalkeeper position. And, you know, with 10 saves on the sheet, he's really kept Boston College in this. But, of course, when Stanford just keeps getting those opportunities, they're always going to break through. A team like this with Trevor Islam, you know, you have so many guys, Zach Bohane, players that you can always mention, not to mention the freshmen as well with Partal and Pim. It's just so hard to contain these players. There's a reason why they're ranked 6th in the nation.
Sare has re-entered the match. He started the match, did not start the second half for BC. The dam is kind of broken here for the BC Eagles. Stanford will make their first couple changes of the second half. It's a double match week for the Cardinal. They beat Oregon State on Wednesday. Next week it'll be a one-match week. They'll go to Wake Forest, Winston-Salem. And Wake Forest a little bit down this year, but that has been a really good program over the year. And a one-match week the week after with Pittsburgh, coming here to Stanford. San Francisco, SMU, and then Cal on the road on Halloween down in Berkeley.
I love it. It always lands during Halloween, those Cardinal-Cal matchups.
Distance attempt, and that was from one of the subs, Brown, and that was never really had a chance.
But that's the biggest thing when you look at this Cardinal schedule. You know, after that Wake Forest game, you know, where they have to go on the road across the country, they get to hold ground here in the Bay Area, hosting Pittsburgh, hosting San Francisco, hosting SMU, and then just going across the Bay to Cal.
And one thing that has helped Stanford is it's 4 home, 4 away in the ACC. And last year, Stanford went Clemson and Notre Dame before classes started. This year, Louisville and Syracuse before classes started. Classes just started this week at Stanford. It's totally different. The ACC, there are 15 teams, so there's 14 other teams, and you'll play 8 of them. So 6 of them you miss. When Stanford was in the Pac-12, there was just 6 teams, and it was a double round robin. So you played every team home and away. Boston College might not come back to Stanford for like 4 years.
Yep.
Jeremy Gunn was telling me, you prefer either? He goes, well, first of all, it's been really fun to have a new challenge to come to the ACC. It's his 14th year at Stanford. He said he always enjoys new challenges, and the ACC has been the class of men's and women's soccer for quite a while. He said in some ways his job was a little bit easier the way it used to be. Left-footed shot for Chow's wide. The other thing, talking to Jeremy Gunn, that is totally different too, is back when the Pac-12, you're playing double round robin, before there was all the NIL and transfers and the portal being a lot more active, as you would see the same teams, the same players for 4 years, and you'd maybe face them 8-10 times. Chow. Oh, that was a good idea from Stone.
Oh, what a spin move there, too.
But Shane DeFlores is on for Stanford. But now with transfers and in the way the ACC is set up, where you kind of only play half the other teams in the league, scouting's become a little bit more challenging.
It has. But you know what? I also want to give a lot of credit to your earlier point about, you know, moving from the Pac-12 to the ACC, and Stanford really making a big impact, as that was a rough play there on the field. And it looks like a late whistle.
Yeah, Chow went down really hard, and it kind of looked like he was undercut there for a moment. He's taking some inventory. Hopefully he just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay, especially this late in the game. An impact player like Chow, you hate to see him sustain a major injury.
Now, if Stanford holds on, they'll be in second.
Yep.
Clemson 3-0-1. In the ACC, it is ridiculously difficult. No team in the conference is unbeaten and untied. Every single team has at least one blemish on their record.
Iron sharpens iron. It's a very competitive conference, but that's the point I was going to make, is a lot of those Pac-12 teams, obviously, with it getting disbanded and moving over to other conferences, Stanford moving to the ACC with both soccer programs, and both programs continuing to have success, was really just a testament of how powerful that Pac-12 was in general for conferences. When you talk about not just even soccer itself, but football as well, basketball, and you're seeing all these Pac-12 schools move to these new conferences like the Big Ten and the Big 12 and the ACC, and they're competing for some of the top spots. It really shows. I mean, we always knew the Pac-12 was such a dominant conference with so many great teams. So it's no surprise that Stanford moves to the ACC already sharpened by the competition for the Pac-12 and with a lot of success right now.
4 of the top 7 teams in the country by the top drawer poll are in the ACC. BC looking dangerous. Brown. Asare. And Colleen, that one's swept away. And the Cardinal trying to cover it out. Groenevelds, that one was off of Brown last. Stanford's next match, again, will be Wake Forest, who on the coaches poll is number 13. They were number 1 in the country before that. So there are really no easy weeks in the ACC. NC State right now is the number 1 team in the country in both the coaches and the media poll. Virginia number 3 in the media poll. You got Duke and Clemson 16 and 17. Louisville, who beat Stanford at 22.
And isn't it interesting? NC State, one of the top teams, but when you go to the ACC standings itself, they're ranked below Stanford right now currently, but that's just, again, how the ACC is kind of played out. NC State,
Oh, dangerous
1-0
ball. Fletcher Bank tried to play it in for DeFlores. NC State, they played 3 matches in the ACC. They've only won 1. They beat BC, and that was a tough match too. BC's staff said they thought they played really well in that match.
and they did. They really played competitive in that matchup versus NC State, and again, that's why, that first half wasn't surprising that Boston College was really hanging with Stanford through it all. But Stanford right now making a big statement, Boston College, they held NC State. It was a 2-0 match. But Stanford really broke through here to get 3 on. I'll tell you what, the Stanford team is just so fun to watch as they continue to progress through a match. The adjustments that they make, how they switch up their offensive formations, their attack schemes. It's so beautiful to watch live and in person and just always see the chess match that comes with the game of soccer and how head coach Jeremy Gunn always makes those adjustments and the right moves, it seems like, so far this year.
If we're trying to get back to the College Cup, 2019 was the last year that they went to the College Cup. Bank into the front, tipped away by Barak. Might have prevented a Cardinal goal.
Dangerous move, though, because if he missed that was a clear goal.
And another corner here for Stanford.
Worth mentioning, if the Cardinal, which they look like they're on pace to get the win today, they're going to match their win total from last season when they finished the season 9-5-6 last year. They're going to be standing at 9-1-1, a very impressive record. And just a show for how this team has improved this season, and especially in the later half, right? This is a team that started off really hot last year and kind of cooled down when it came to the NC2A tournament time. This time, they're staying hot.
Another corner here for Stanford. 6-0 in terms of corners. I mean, all the numbers are just totally one-sided, including the shots on target are 13-1.
Corner kick, Stanford.
They're just dominating in every facet of the game right now.
Joshua Partal to take the corner kick. He's from the Northeast, from Maine. He was part of the New England Revolution Academy. A few Stanford players. Will Cleary from Connecticut, from the Northeast. Partal, that one loose in front to Flores. That's deflected away. Here's the 3rd corner in a row for Stanford.
You remember when we had that conversation at halftime and you were asking, what did you think you were going to see in that second half? And the first thing I said was, watch out for Shane DeFlores. He just seemed very aggressive in that first half, and there he was again. He's so quick to the ball. And, of course, since subbing in now already, the fresh legs, he makes a huge impact, and that's clearly where Jeremy Gunn likes him, is to bring him in the second half of each half where he has the fresh legs, and then that's where he can make the big impact.
Played for one of the best youth outfits in the country, De Anza Force, to San Ramon Valley High School. Shane DeFlores, 20 goals and 18 assists at Stanford. And he is going to continue to go up those Stanford record books. Chow, the in-swinger.
A little too flat there. I would have liked to have seen the arc that he did on his last corner kick.
Oh, Chow. Again, put it out in front, and he was frustrated with himself. Substitutions for BC as they try to get something out of this match.
if I'm Chow, obviously, yeah, that sucks. But it was really just more of an unfortunate bounce of the ball because that was a great play by Chow. Great hustle following off the corner kick to get possession and then really start to enforce things close to the net. But then just an unfortunate bounce and deflection there.
Martinson Wolds. Wasserman in for Boston College. Stanford might be up 3-0 with 14 minutes left, but the press does not rest.
Never.
Intensity. That's Jeremy Gunn. I mean, how do you get your team to play like this? And he said, well, first of all, it comes up to standards. We never lower our standards. And when we train, when we practice, we are practicing at 100%. Fletcher Bank. Stone. And that's hit wide.
I love the attempt there by Jude Stone. And again, great pass by Bank. Both Banks have made such a huge impact. Palmer, of course, getting the score, but Fletcher, too, has really made a huge impact in this match. He's been everywhere on the field. Oh, my goodness. Scary there for a second.
Jeremy Gunn from England, in case you didn't know, and he was watching the Ryder Cup yesterday. He told me he was fired up. He shared a story when he was at Charlotte. He had a charity soccer match, and said Rory McIlroy, Sergio Garcia both participated in the match. He said Sergio was very, very good soccer player. He said Rory was decent. He was solid, but he said Sergio, he was very impressed by his skills. That's probably the last time we see Trevor Islam, who gets a huge round of applause from
well-deserved.
A good crowd here at Stanford. A goal and assist for the former walk-on from the North Bay. 3-0 Stanford, 12:50 left in the match.
Well, if there were jersey sales, you can imagine Trevor Islam would be having a lot going his way right now. He's a fan favorite.
He is a Bay Area native.
Exactly why, too. It's a Bay Area story, just underdog, making a huge impact, and not just that, just leading, the team leader in scoring. But also you just saw in this match as well the impact that he has passing as well. He could do it all.
Fletcher Bank. Every second ball Stanford just gets to. Fletcher. Palmer overlapping with him. He kind of wipes out. Stanford has gone to their bench. Dylan Hooper, fourth-year junior from Kansas, getting a chance here.
This is where you give the opportunity to some other players. Again, we talked about how young of a team this Stanford Cardinal team is. Well, there's a good chance to let some other players get some playing time and start to refine their skills as well.
Partal picked up his 6th assist of this season. He came into this weekend 3rd in the ACC in assists. Ball played out in front. And again, Boston College just trying to relieve pressure. Sorry, nice ball. BC, a little bit of open grass for them. Hits it wide. Martinson Wold couldn't really control it. And Stanford on the counter. And this is a dangerous. Tomo Allen. No, he was off. As he's trying to send Fletcher Bank free. Fletcher Bank, 34th start at Stanford, 17 career assists, 3 goals this year. He is pre-med, wants to be a physician, a surgeon.
Oh, it's a close one right there. Close call.
BC there, they've kind of brought on some substitutes as well. Henry Wasserman back there now as a center back.
You know, if you look at Boston College and the rest of their schedule, they've really gotten their 2 toughest opponents out of the way in terms of ACC competition. Now, you look Syracuse, Duke, SMU, again, all very tough opponents. We ain't just talking about the ACC in general, but, it's matchups that they can win. And with how competitive they've shown to be against NC State and Stanford, watch out for Boston College, especially if they start to find their rhythm with the right guys, get the shots that they like, start to work things better on the offensive side. They can make a late game push here to maybe make that ACC tournament. And at that point, it's a one-game battle. Anything can happen.
81st minute. All 3 goals from Stanford in the second half. Cardinal kept knocking on the door. They finally got through. 53rd minute. Palmer Bank, Alex Chow in the 56th minute off of a great run by Trevor Islam, as Gibson will pull up a card, pick up a card, and then Trevor Islam with a wonder strike from maybe 25, 28 yards out off of his left foot in the 65th minute has given us our 3-0 score.
Not even trying to hide that one was Gibson there, just almost like he was waiting for the officials to just blow the whistle already. He's just didn't want to give a free opportunity to the Cardinal there. Okay, picking up the yellow card. And that's kind of the thing that we've seen from Boston College in this game. They're okay just kind of picking up the fouls if it halts Stanford momentum.
Liam Doyle, senior from Tokyo, Japan, making his 7th appearance. And Takeshi Sasaki had an assist at Santa Clara this year. This is his 18th match over 3 years at Stanford.
A big win versus Santa Clara as well, where that was a tough one. One possession battle, and that's, you can look back at a lot of Stanford matches ending in one possession. You got the number 4 matchup that they had against Denver, at Santa Clara, at UC Davis, a loss at Louisville, but then Syracuse, San Jose State, Virginia Tech, all within one score.
Big round of applause for Watts Richmond, 6'4" freshman from Mill Valley. Played in Marin FC with Trevor Islam. Mill Valley up in the North Bay. And he's on for BC. A lot of friends and family are here to cheer him on. They're excited to see him come out. A couple BC Eagles in California, and that's been one of the things for the other ACC teams, the non-Stanford and Cal teams, that they've enjoyed, especially in men's soccer. There's so many good players in the Bay Area, in Southern California, LA, San Diego area, Bakersfield with the Bank Twins. But the ability to play matches out here at Stanford and Cal and get some more recruiting in California.
Yeah, that's the advantage that Stanford has just by location. Obviously, they're located right here in California, so they're a school that all these players knew about growing up. Everyone knows about Stanford. They know about Cal. They know about that rivalry. They know about these teams here in the Bay Area. They're the premier teams located here in the Bay Area. So, of course, they have a little bit more of a persuasion when it comes to recruiting for these guys. I imagine for some of them, Stanford might have been their dream school growing up.
Williams. Wasserman from Winchester, Massachusetts, played for the Boston Bolts. Williams has played with all the New York professional teams as a youth, Cosmos, NYCFC, and New York Red Bulls.
He's done a great job developing him as a player.
A lot of these players came up in MLS youth academies.
Love the effort there from Liam Doyle. Really wanted the call there, but I really do love the way he was being aggressive there, and it looks like a late game cramp here.
And Partal, speaking of MLS youth academies, he grew up in Maine, but he played with New England Revolution, which is not too far away from Boston College. They play in Foxborough, Mass.
If you're Partal and all these other guys, I'd love to see them really just start to, take it easy here in the last 7 minutes, of course, because
I don't think
guys
that's
like Partal, but that's just not in their standard.
Yeah, that is not in the standard for Jeremy again. They were playing a full 90 minutes. I don't think take it easy is in
in their playbook.
Yeah, their vocabulary.
The biggest thing now is hopefully, obviously you play a clean rest of the match, but also to prevent any big-time injuries. This is clearly a starting lineup that knows what they're doing. Not a great sign for DeFlores already kind of a little shaken up there, limping off.
Now Stanford has a long trip ahead of them next week. They'll go across the country to Winston-Salem to take on Wake Forest, who was #1 in the polls last week.
Yep. That's the big one.
Stanford's first ever 2 ACC matches. They played back-to-back Clemson and Notre Dame, who were #1 and #2 in the country. And Jeremy Gunn, one of the mottos for Stanford under him has been any place, anytime, anywhere, anybody. That's what he said after Stanford beat #1 Marshall back in the NCAA tournament back in 2023.
Yeah, speak about Marshall. They're ranked #4 in the nation right now. Again, it's NC State, Portland, Indiana, Marshall, Michigan, and then Stanford. And you have to imagine with the 2 wins that they picked up this week, if any of those other teams falter, Stanford's only going to continue to rise in the rankings.
Dylan Logan got a couple touches there, 5'10" freshman from Alexandria, Virginia, in Northern Virginia, just outside of D.C. As is Stanford, you always want to win. That's the #1 goal of any match. But it is great to get someone like a Dylan Logan out there to Alexandria City High School.
You mentioned it. Wake Forest is the big one next week. That is really the one that is glaring on their schedule, for the rest of the season. If they could get past Wake Forest, or actually I wouldn't even say get past. They are favored. So if they could get the win that they're expected to get over Wake Forest, which is a very tough opponent, they will be favored in that match. And looking ahead, the rest of the schedule, the biggest thing for Stanford is just to not be lax or take things easy, which is, again, not in the playbook for this Cardinal team whatsoever. But they're going to be really favored against Pittsburgh, San Francisco, SMU, and then, of course, Cal, you don't need any more motivation besides the fact that that's your rival right there.
That would be on the road in Berkeley, Halloween night.
See if they can scare the Bears a little bit. Add some terror to Cal.
Will you be dressing up for Halloween this year, Alejandro?
Yes, I am, but I have a problem that haven't really decided what my Halloween costume is. Yeah, that kind of snuck up on me.
You got to hurry.
I got to hurry.
They're selling out.
Time is running out. I'll find a Spirit Halloween.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, exactly. Probably one down the corner.
4:20 left in the game. Stanford trying to keep the clean sheet. It was a hectic Wednesday night win. Stanford trailed 2-1 deep into that match before they equalized and then scored with 36 seconds left. Tomo Allen off the bench to beat Oregon State 3-2. This has been not as hectic. Offside.
And this is where, it's games like these, matches like these, where Schnebley is one where he doesn't really get anything on the stat line. So that's why the stat sheet doesn't really tell the full story for Schnebley, in terms of save percentage and total saves, just because of the fact that, this Stanford team can be so dominant that many teams just don't get many opportunities to shoot against Schnebley. But every single time they do, Schnebley is there and he makes fantastic plays.
Yeah, Rowan, 46th start tonight at Stanford, part of the Portland Timbers Academy. Hails from Portland, Oregon. See, nice movement to Asare. Henze. Back to Asare. And Stanford's able to swoop it away for a moment. Henze towards the back post. It's headed away. And a nice job there by Logan to hit it towards midfield. Richmond. Burkhart. Junior from Sutton, Massachusetts, near Worcester. Also part of the New England Revolution Academy. Duncan Jarvie's in for Stanford. Sophomore from Utah. Deflected pass. There's a little miscommunication in the left back.
First time I've seen Borak actually be conservative there and and not just fully run towards the ball.
Burkhardt helped him out there, the left back, part of the Revs Academy. 2 minutes left. Little space here for Logan. Trying to put someone in behind. Allen. Looking to turn. Sasaki. Onto his left foot. In front. Headed away. Again. It's not just the shots. It's 24 shots for Stanford, but it's the 8 corner kicks. And then some coaches, you talk to them, they almost treat crosses like shots. There are balls towards balls towards the net and a chance for someone to kind of run and head onto it.
I mean, my biggest thing that I love about this Stanford Cardinal team and what I watch every single time they play here at Kagan Stadium is just their aggressiveness, but also their positioning. They always know where to be. That's chemistry, you know? That's something that you don't always see on the stat line. It's an understanding of where each guy is going to be. As we approach the final minute left to go in this one.
Stanford, they're going to improve to 7-0 at Kagan Stadium. This will be the 100th victory at Kagan Stadium for Jeremy Gunn.
What a season they've had at Kagan Stadium, too.
A bunch of more matches here, too. Pitt, USF. And they'll close up the home slate with SMU.
That's why it's important. You want to keep winning these games. You want to keep winning these matches because this is where you set yourself up for the NC2A tournament, you know, where the tournament can maybe run through you. Your half of the bracket runs through you. Remember when Stanford was in the tournament last season, they had one game that they hosted and they had to do the rest on the road. And, you know, that's just something that I think they want to try to switch up this year and see if they can kind of control home field advantage for the tournament. And they're on to a great